George Washington. Perhaps nobody understood the covenant more than George Washington.
That's right. On April 30th, 1789, right here on this spot, George Washington took his oath of office. But it wasn't just an oath of office. He was activating the Constitution.
When he was elected as the President of the United States, the first custodian of this Constitution, he did something that has been all but lost to our history books, but should be very relevant to us today.
As the first president of the United States of America, the newly formed nation, there wasn't any precedent as to how a presidential inauguration should carry forward.
Then he does something interesting. He asks for a Bible to take his oath upon. They bring him a Bible. He opens that Bible. He places his hand in that Bible.
He placed his left hand on the Bible and raised his right arm to the square and took an oath and a covenant before the Lord, asking for the Lord's protection to be upon this land.
What's he doing here? Okay, but making a covenant. And he takes this sacred oath, which oath is actually written in the Constitution itself, about how he will protect and defend this Constitution, the principles of free agency that God has delivered to this nation. Now, historians often muse at this event for one particular reason, because they say, a man like Washington, who was so symbolic, he was so deliberate in what he did, he knew posterity was watching, why did he just flip that Bible open to whatever random page and put his hand in there? Because that's what it appears he did to most historians. Or they don't even report on it because it seems so just unnoteworthy. It's just some gurgled Old Testament language. He was probably in a hurry, they say. He just flipped open the Bible and put his hand in there. Now, the chapter that he had his hand upon was Genesis 49. He had his hand upon the words that Jacob delivered to his son Joseph, which begin, Joseph is a fruitful bough, whose branches run over the wall.
The wall was understood to be the Atlantic Ocean, the ocean, and that was the separation, and there would be a righteous branch of the house of Israel that would go over the wall and then establish a new nation. And they understood, the founding fathers actually understood that they were the embodiment of that covenant.
The Book of Mormon is specifically about the land of America. And interesting to note, there's not a country in the world that's like the United States of America. And it's hard to understand why America is so different until we read the Book of Mormon.
This is a covenant land with sacred oaths and sacred responsibilities. Our laws have their origin in the Word of God, in the Scriptures. And the Word of God must not be trivialized or treated lightly.
It is fundamental to understand that the Abrahamic covenant is always bound to a promised land. If you read in Genesis about the Abrahamic covenant, it is bound to a land. If you read in the book of Abraham, it is bound to a land. In the Book of Mormon, the covenant is always bound to the land. Even when we attend the temple, if we listen carefully, the land is there. Our liberties bind us to our lands. Property and property rights are essential to the Abrahamic covenant.